Hello, this is the first part of the Medieval any percent tutorial, and we're just going to jump right into the thick of the run here, and we're going to just start explaining the major glitches in the game. These glitches are actually really the meat of the run, and they're actually required, so I'm explaining these first, so you can practice them a lot if you're following along this, or it'll probably be the first thing you watch. There's no way around most of these tricks I'm going to show you. Some of them, you can skip some of them, but they're huge time wasters. If you're only learning the game, some of them are actually quite difficult. I wouldn't recommend necessarily learning some of the unessential ones. So there's some of them are huge time wasters, and some of them are just extremely dangerous to skip. I'm sort of beating around the bush here and not explaining what they are. I'm going to sort of break this whole thing down procedurally so you understand how this works and how these tricks work, and I'm going to build them from the ground up basically. And so I'm just going to build up as to how you're using simple mechanics of the game just to actually break the game. So what I'm going to be focusing on in this video is a trick or an exploit or a glitch involving the imagery. So I'm actually going to skip ahead to the videos here. So we're breaking this right down. You select to open the imagery, you select to close the imagery. That's the basics of the game when using the imagery. Nothing difficult here. So you can open and close the imagery. When the imagery is actually open though, the whole game world freezes, as you can see. This freezes the enemies, it cancels, well, it doesn't cancel damage, but as you can see, I'm basically pausing the game or freezing the game here, and the damage is getting stopped when I open the inventory, and then when I close it, the damage continues. So, core principle, when the inventory is open, the game freezes. So the question now is, how is this useful for speedrunning the game, or how is it useful for breaking the game? When the inventory is open, you can't move, you can't do anything, you're invulnerable, but essentially what you can't actually do anything. So when you open the inventory with select, you can double tap select and it will close and reopen the inventory. So just double tapping allows you to close and then reopen the inventory. So you can probably start to see now how this is starting to build up into how you can use the inventory. So you can open and close the inventory by double tapping select. So what? Well, when you close the inventory and reopen it very quickly, there's a space of time, we're talking frames here, where you can actually move about. So the clip here is showing how I'm jumping between the inventory closing and reopening. So what this allows you to basically do is to get to places where you're not supposed to be by exploiting the sort of invulnerability that the inventory gives you. So now we're going to illustrate how you can actually use this actually in the game. The first example is a bit of a silly example, but the principle still sort of stands, and you can do how you can do basically silly things, and obviously speedrunning things in the game with this glitch. So you see me jump into the water here. Jumping into the water kills you because Dan can't swim. There's no swimming mechanics in this game. But if I use the inventory glitch, I can jump into the water. Now the inventory is open, so I'm invulnerable. I'm not dead, but this is useless because I can't do anything. But you can do this funny glitch here. I'd give the boatman the helmets, but I'm in the water. So you'll see what happens here. You saw it down a bit there. Now the camera's frozen here. And for whatever reason I die. I didn't actually close the inventory here. But now you can see the boatman just flying across through the level geometry. So this is an example of using the inventory glitch to get into the water and just breaking the game. This for a run has it's completely useless, but funny thing to show to sort of lets you understand how you can destroy the game just by using the imagery. So here's another example. Something to bear in mind when you're trying to do this. You'll see me sort of trip at the edge. That means you're standing on the edge. Just something to bear in mind, that so you're not just jumping like from the middle of a platform out and trying to do it. I mean, that would take forever considering how small the increments of movement are. But if you're actually trying to get out, just make sure you're standing on the edge. So in this example, you see me trip. I'm on the edge. I jump out. Now the imagery is open, so I'm invulnerable. But in this example, I can close the imagery and I can run around under the water. Now, unfortunately, this has actually no applicability in a run either. But it's just to show you, in comparison to the last example, you can actually move about. And you see me die here because the kill trigger is actually the water. And I demonstrate this again that it's not just some bug in the game with that's like a specific spot you can jump into and not die. I mean, I jump in here, I'm hitting the water, I'm dead. So I sort of just alluded to what's actually going on here. When the imagery is open, you're essentially vulnerable, you won't get attacked. But this also freezes the kill triggers, and you can just get past the kill triggers. Example 1 is a bit of a weird one. It's not like the water in that level, so the automatic assumption is that for that part of the level anyway, the kill trigger extends all the way through that water. So it's easy to understand how this can be useful, and there really is 2 ways you can use this imagery glitch in the game. And the first one's by jumping into game events, like a cutscene, or using an item. And I've already demonstrated this by using the helmets and pools of the ancient dead, and how you can basically mess up the game pretty bad. And the second is by jumping out of bounds. So that's really an introduction to the imagery glitch. And I'm not going to explain the proper usages in a run in this video, but this will be something I will touch on definitely in future videos. This is the building block for the next glitch, which allows you to, well, I'll not spoil that. We'll see you in the next video.